This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
But then it's time to do some TV. And this time we're doing it in Charleston, South Carolina at the County Hall on May 31st. And there's a promo here, of course, like always, with you and Ole. But my favorite line here, this airs on June 1st, I think this airs. It's the National Tag Champs. And Arn says, a lot of men are saying they could beat the Andersons, but it's all talk. And Ole says, Buzz Sawyer couldn't be a pimple on a hog's butt, which is about as old school as it gets. Pretty fun stuff.
We are back at ringside, and this is one half of the National Tag Team Champions, Arn Anderson. Ole Anderson will join us here in just a second.
Tony Giovanni, there's a lot of tough guys running around out there like Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes, Dick Slater, Buzz Sawyer, Pez Whiteley, all Manny Fernandez, Thunderbolt Patterson, all out there saying, well, we could get together and we could take these national belts from the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. But they're just like these people out here. They're just like the guys down at Hank's hot dog stand. That's all they're doing is running their mouth. It's all speculation. If you want a measuring stick, if you want something to go by to see just exactly how tough you are, right here is how you measure it, Daddy. We are the measuring stick, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
You know, you think Buzz Sawyer do himself a little bit of favor, talk to Thunderbolt Patterson or talk to Manny Fernandez. Buzz, I watched you and Garvin out there wrestling. First match, you're trying to be just like us. Go out there, beat, chop, grab holds. Boy, you're really, really tough, and I'm really impressed. Arn and I both just stand there and watch you. Buzz Sawyer, you wouldn't make a doggone pimple on a hog's backside. And I'll tell you what, you show up around us, you're going to get yourself hurt bad.
We're coming right back. Don't go away.
The main event of that show is Ole and Arn taking on Alan Martin and Mark Cooper. But a few moments later, Buzz Sawyer comes out to replace one of the Andersons' opponents, and Sawyer is eventually double teamed until Dick Slater comes out to make the save. Talk to me about Dick Slater and Buzz Sawyer and how they're now thrown into the fold for a feud with you guys.
So this was TV.
Yep.
It had been agreed upon that we knew we were working our way. I guess we should probably go ahead and, just say it for the people that weren't thinking this. You're sitting there going, Jesus Christ, how many times can they wrestle Manny and Thunderbolt? You got to remember, all these towns, we were just wrestling them once.
Yep.
It wasn't like we were going back to weekly or bi-weekly towns and all
None of
that.
these matches are on TV.
Yeah, and they're not televised. So as long as you follow your story on television, you're not wanting to puke by God, not again. And remember, these are just individual markets where you're going around the country and wrestling these guys one time. So just to clear that up. But we've been given the deal that they were going to have a big stadium show in the summer. Middle of July, and Ole and I were going to wrestle Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater, which we knew that was going to be our money because that would be a main event. It would be booked as a main event on whatever towns you're in, unless Dusty was there, and you would be right underneath it. But I got very excited. Plus, Dick Slater was my idol. He was the guy that made me, along with Bob Orton Jr., want to be a wrestler, and really just fell in love with it. And so that would have been the first piece, this television, of shooting that angle.
It's fun to think about that as a potential matchup for you guys. In my opinion, Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater are two rough and tumble guys, just like you and Ole. Or is it a match where it's too much of the same thing? They say styles make fights these days in MMA, and maybe you do need some compare and contrast, but it feels like that's like old school, down and dirty, ass kicking, almost Bill Watts style matchup, right?
Well, without taking this the wrong way, the variable that was in that match, had I just wanted to stay on my feet and slug it out like the other guys, Dickie was a little more, bouncing up and down. He had no problem taking some bumps. Buzz and Ole were slugging it out. Now, if Dickie would have decided He didn't want to take any bumps. Nobody was going to make him.
Right.
If I decided I wasn't going to take any bumps, it would have probably got really, really ugly, and not in a good way. You know, I certainly wouldn't want to piss Dick Slater off. You've heard all the stories.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder, brother. Thunder. So, you know what my job was in that match, and I knew it, was to get my ass kicked by both baby faces. That gave it a different look and a different feel. There was action. You know, I'm getting backdropped. I'm getting clotheslined over the top. I'm getting shot out, you know, to the floor. I'm getting backdropped on the floor. All those things that made it not look like what it could have been, which would have just been just a fist fight, bar fight, which would not have been interesting because all those talents were good. It's just, you know, what mindset were they in and what do they feel like doing that night and just what came up. But I was looking forward to it. I was thrilled for the match.
Well, you guys are going to shoot a big angle on June the 1st. And of course, we're going to try to pay it off on the 23rd at the Omni. But that is a story for another time. We're breaking down Arn's entire run through Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And I'm happy to say, Arn, as you and I are recording this, more of the old Crockett footage has been uploaded to the Peacock Network. So check it out if you haven't already. You want to go back and relive some of this stuff. It's starting to populate now over on Peacock. We hope you guys are.
You got to get excited about saving people all those dollars. They can limousine ride and jet fly now with that extra cash.
And they can style and profile with a quick 10-minute phone call right now to 425-0105.
That's 425-0105. Woo!
SaveWithConrad.com. You're going to be back on Jim Crockett Promotions TV and WTBS. And this time, you and Ole are going to have a conversation about how you're sick of being nice to Thunderbolt Patterson. And now he's at the top of the hit list. There's going to be a match here with Bob Roop and you guys, Arn and Ole, taking on Buzz Sawyer, Pez Whatley, and the Italian Stallion. We haven't spent a ton of time talking about Bob Roop, old school territory guy. How were your matches or your time spent with him?
Well, Bob was a shooter. He was a big amateur wrestler. His style didn't really convert to, let's just say, Buzz, who was a good amateur too, and he would incorporate some of that style into the match. Bob's not so much. I think he was more of a Greco-Roman upper body amateur wrestler, but he was a friend of Ole's. I know that. I know just from their conversations that Ole liked him, respected him, if that's possible, for Ole to like somebody. But I got the impression he liked Bob, so I'm sure he enjoyed having him on the team.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.